Hey everyone, Gill Gross here post-match. Stefanos Tsitsipas versus Carlos Alcaraz. Barcelona 2022 quarterfinal. If you're not here for spoilers, click off the video in 3, 2, 1. Carlos Alcaraz improves to 3-0 versus Stefanos Tsitsipas. 8-6 all-time against top 10 players. And he moves on to the semifinal in Barcelona with a 3-set victory. This match was electric once again. I'll tell you what, you can look at the 3-0. Every single match has been phenomenal. Every single match has been an absolute pleasure to watch. The quality has been amazing. I think Carlos tends to get in Tsitsipas's head a little bit and bug him. I think Tsitsipas might bug Carlos too on the court. I think they're cool off the court, but on the court, there's always a little bit of tension, and the athleticism and the shot making, it's just a beautiful thing in my opinion. So despite the head-to-head being at this point one-sided, I can't get enough of this matchup. It's been a pleasure to watch. There was a lot of silliness in this match. I'll get to it after I finish up with the more meat and potatoes tactical breakdown. And for the most part, this was another example of a match that was oftentimes reliant upon the effectiveness of Tsitsipas's backhand return. Alcaraz is a great kick serve. You know, his serve is definitely not the strength of his game, but when it comes to his ability to stand on especially the ad side of the court and kick the ball heavy out wide, it's fantastic. And this is another example, especially in the first set, of Tsitsipas, the quality of his backhand return not being good enough at all to, one, put enough balls in play, but two, hit a strong enough return that actually doesn't just accomplish the goal of landing in the court, but accomplishes the goal of neutralization and begins at least a neutral point. And that's the bar, just neutralization. He doesn't need to take control of the point with the return. He just needs to get to neutral. And with Alcaraz's weaponry being lethal off of both wings, the forehand and the backhand, having the ability to both crush the ball and hit the drop shot behind his serve, having the ability to come in behind his serve, all of these things combined, they put a lot of pressure on that backhand return to be effective. And in the first set, Tsitsipas could rarely survive Alcaraz's serve plus one combination, with Carlos directing most of his serves into the Tsitsipas backhand without a doubt. And as a result, Tsitsipas could not find his way into Alcaraz service games. But in the second set, there was a point where Tsitsipas started connecting on his backhand return, timing that shot, and hitting them consistently with quality. It was at 4-3 when Tsitsipas broke in the second set, where he hit strong backhand return after backhand return like a machine. He did it for the remainder of the second set, really, and then it became a matter of who is more solid from neutral, and the answer was undoubtedly Tsitsipas. Not to say that Stefanos wasn't bringing what he brings to the table offensively, using his forehand and his approach shots and all of that, but if we're talking about what separated Tsitsipas in the second set, which he won, it was the fact that he was the steadier, more solid player, with Alcaraz spraying a lot of forehands and backhands throughout kind of the latter stages of the second set, and giving Tsitsipas a real edge from a consistency standpoint, which again does not matter unless Tsitsipas is able to work his way into rallies, which means he needs to hit a good enough return to do it. So now you go to the third set, and Carlos raised his level, and Tsitsipas just blinked. There were two forehands that he missed at love all that you can't really miss, and the first break of serve went to Alcaraz. But there was also some amazing neutralizations by Alcaraz in that game, and they were both forehand down the line neutralizations, or really counters that turn the point around. And that's a key that I'm about to get to in a moment, so you can keep that in mind. And then at 2-love, it becomes a double break lead for Alcaraz, because Tsitsipas hits two double faults in this game, and that's the first two double faults of the match. Needless to say, in a very evenly matched head-to-head like this, where you have two elite players, really, when you spot your opponent a couple of points in your service games, you're asking to be broken, you're asking for trouble, and Tsitsipas dug himself a hole. I felt like the momentum in the match in the third set was actually turning back in favor of Tsitsipas, but absolute magic on the part of Carlos Alcaraz at 1-4, going to the serve and volley on the ad side, kick out wide on 2 break points. Back-to-back break points. One was 30-40 and one was out. And I just didn't feel like Tsitsipas had an answer for that play. And I felt like Carlos decided, okay, if you're going to break my serve, you're going to have to hit a backhand pass, or you're going to have to win a point off of my serve and volley, and I'm going to come in. Unfortunately, Tsitsipas didn't have that opportunity on the deuce side where Carlos couldn't go to that play. But I just felt like it was an automatic point for Alcaraz whenever he ran that pattern. And it's something that Tsitsipas is going to need to contend with in this head-to-head. You know, Alcaraz just has this in his back pocket, and he's going to just whip it out whenever he needs a point. Again, just to reiterate, ad side, kick serve out wide, serve and volley. I think Carlos won every point when he did that. And then later on in this game, I mean, he hit the most incredible backhand down the line counter. I think it was a winner, if not, it forced an error, but just dead run, flipped the point around completely, unbelievable. And then he hit the most amazing backhand down the line winner off of a great Tsitsipas return on add-in. So that put him up 5-1 and put the match away. It was a brilliant moment for Alcaraz where I really felt like if Tsitsipas got the break of serve, it turned back into a very competitive match, and Alcaraz put his foot down. Zooming out a little bit more, besides the backhand return for Tsitsipas, and that's still playing its role and still kind of being something that Alcaraz is able to exploit, overall, the way Alcaraz is able to make Tsitsipas play through his backhand over and over and over again is so outstanding, so special, something that I've rarely seen players be able to execute on that level against Stefanos Tsitsipas. Now, one player who has been able to is Djokovic, and if you go back to like how I broke down the Roland Garros final, it's a lot of these same themes, but not only everyone can serve to the Tsitsipas backhand. And that's why I'm putting that in the rear view. That's separate. Anyone on tour can do that. Everybody knows how to do that. But getting it to the backhand on return, that's very difficult to do. Alcaraz can do that. Alcaraz can do that with way more frequency than most other players out there. Even more impressive and more crucial is how often Alcaraz from defensive positions can get it to the Tsitsipas backhand, which begins to turn the point around and Steph starts to lose his advantage. It's absolutely incredible how often Alcaraz is able to do that with two ways. On the forehand side, Alcaraz is able to defend down the line, which is really hard to do. Most players don't do that. First of all, it's programmed into all players' kinds of wiring that you defend cross court. The net is lower and there's more court to hit into. So when you lose precision, which obviously from difficult positions you're going to lose precision, it's easier to go cross court into the bigger target with more court to hit into and the lower part of the net. But Alcaraz is able to hit incredible down-the-line forehand defense to get it to Tsitsipas's backhand, which shows great poise and also shows great execution and control over defensive positions, which was really missing for Alcaraz. I would say no longer than maybe a year and a half ago. I didn't think Alcaraz was able to defend in these positions as well as he can now. Now, on the backhand side, yes, Alcaraz can hit the backhand defense cross-court, and he can hit it really well. You have to be precise, you have to hit deep, you have to be strong. Otherwise, Tsitsipas is going to use his incredible footwork to get a forehand. But what Alcaraz does so well is, again, countering down the line with frequency as to make Tsitsipas pay for cheating to the backhand side. Even if Carlos is stretched out, open stance, well behind the baseline, on the run. He's so strong that Tsitsipas cannot completely sell out that it's coming slow cross-court loopy defense. Against most players, well, maybe they have to slice it. Tsitsipas is getting a forehand no matter what. Maybe they go slow loopy cross-court. Tsitsipas is going to get a forehand. He's going to run around that all day. Alcaraz will rip it down the line and catch Steph cheating the wrong direction, and he'll turn defense into offense. So the way he's able to defend, get back in points by exploiting Steph's tendencies and exploiting the backhand weakness is so far beyond what most players are able to do. And that's why when Tsitsipas and Alcaraz play, it feels like the Tsitsipas backhand is this terrible weakness. Is kind of what it feels like. And you have to just understand that that's mostly Carlos doing. That Tsitsipas can play 98% of the tour, and that backhand just doesn't seem as bad. It's how often Carlos is able to make Tsitsipas play through it. That's what's so different. That's what's so special. Now, and by the way, next time they play, I mean, Tsitsipas needs to start avoiding these ad side rallies. He needs to start avoiding it like the plague. He's losing the cross court. He's getting attacked down the line. He's getting, both in trading, dropping short balls, and Alcaraz kind of attacking down the line off of his front foot, or attacking down the line, as I just mentioned, from even defensive positions. So he needs to get out of this ad side rally. That's hard for Tsitsipas because, Steph usually dominates the ad side rally with his runaround forehand. And he loves to set up points like that. He can't against Alcaraz. He needs to start going down the line with his backhand, trading down the line with his backhand. He needs to start trying to get into those deuce side rallies. It's much better in this matchup. So that's for the future if I'm Steph. But I do want to get into some of the extracurricular activities that transpired in this match. The incident on set point in the first set, and the 3-love incident where Tsitsipas got 2-point penalties. Look, Steph tried to peg Carlos. That much is clear to me at the end of the first set. Alcaraz was at net. He hit a good low volley, and it was going to be a tough pass for Tsitsipas. And Steph went hard straight at Alcaraz's body, but it wasn't even close to. It wasn't remotely close to the court. I think it hit the back fence on a fly. So all Alcaraz needed to do was duck out of the way, and the ball went flying into the back fence. And then afterwards, Alcaraz stared him down. And Steph turned his back and went to his towel and didn't apologize. At this point, the TV cameras cut to Apostolos, which kind of bothered me. I didn't like that decision. But it cut to Apostolos, and we never saw it. Turns out, confirmed by instant replay, after Steph got his towel, he did apologize. But that was 10 seconds after he did it. And Carlos, I'm sure, was looking for the apology straight away and didn't get it. So the way I look at this, just to kind of litigate this, there's nothing wrong with going straight at the body. And I understand that there is a bit of an injury risk. I would say, if a pro has their guard up, they're not really going to get hit in the face unless it's a sitter, like a point blank sitter, in which case it's not okay to go at the body. This wasn't that. This was a mid-court ball, and, Alcaraz, it wasn't like he was giving up on the point, like he had his guard up. It's not, a pro is not going to let themselves get hit in the face generally with the ball. But it's a valid play. It's a valid play to go hard at someone. Now, it's a valid play that comes with some danger. And because it comes with some danger, it's common etiquette in tennis. Put your hand up, just show some empathy, show some remorse. There's no problem with, I don't have a problem with the shot, but obviously you need to apologize. And the fact that Tsitsipas didn't apologize right away makes Carlos very much justified in staring down Tsitsipas and, giving him the evil eyes, because it's common courtesy to just put a hand up there. So, look, no harm, no foul. I like the tension. I think it's fine. Now we go to the third set. Alcaraz took a long time between the second and the third set. The rule is you get 3 minutes to go to the bathroom and an extra 2 minutes if you want to change your clothes. So you get 5 minutes. The timer starts once you get to the bathroom. So if I were to guess, I think Alcaraz took maybe 6 minutes. I'm not sure, but maybe about 6 minutes. And Tsitsipas was under the impression that you only get 3 minutes to go to the bathroom. But I think Carlos changed his kit, so it would have been 5 minutes. But Steph was fuming at this point that Carlos got so long in the bathroom. So then at 3-love, it's a changeover. and TV comes back, and I'm like, where is Steph? What is happening here? And Carlos is like taking warm-up serves, and I'm like, where did he go? He comes back, and the umpire says 30-love. And Steph doesn't realize until he loses. I don't know if he even realized until he lost the next 2 points, and it was game Alcaraz. Okay. What happened there was Tsitsipas left the court at the changeover. So the umpire called time, and then after you call time, every 25 seconds is now a point penalty. So Tsitsipas lost 2 points. And then he was like, Steph was like, wait, what about Carlos? Carlos left at the end of the second set for way more than 3 minutes. What the heck? You penalized me and not him? Look, at the end of the day, I have to trust that the umpire applied the rules fairly here. I think he did. And it's just not really, like, it's inexcusable what Tsitsipas decided to do at 3-love. You don't have time to change your kit at 3-love for a changeover. You just don't have time to do it. So what are you doing here? I mean, you're doing it out of vengeance? Like, come on. It's that's immaturity. And he paid the price for it. Again, like, this is not character assassination. It doesn't mean Tsitsipas is like, it doesn't mean he's a bad kid, but from a tennis standpoint, he's shooting himself in the foot. And he's got to get past this at some point, because I can't sympathize with him. I understand if he was upset about Alcaraz's break and it being too long. So have that conversation with the umpire and have it right away. Do not go for a vengeful kit change at 3-love. I've never seen this before. And at the end of the day, if you look at what happened here, Tsitsipas just got penalized for a rule that was put into place because of him. So, craziness, but wanted to address the kind of funny business that occurred in that match. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.